What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hustle. Yes, this is the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch and my King Hustle Live and King Hustle X1M. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or a video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's gonna turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you ready to be your family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, there's gonna be some information that's gonna help you win, keep you informed, or keep you entertained. So with that being said, you know how we get down over here on this channel. We talk about the new methods, the new scams, the new bank methods, the new bank scams is going on, the dark world, the dark web, tech fraud. It's a lot going on in today's world where a lot of people are utilizing these methods to make a lot of money. And there's a lot of people that's trying to utilize these methods that's getting a lot of jail time. And ever since COVID-19, 2019, 2020, scams and fraud have been up 600 to 900, 600 to 800%. And it's all due to social media and the world being put in situations where money is being dispersed out there and being able to be generated easier. Just put it like that. Wherever there's money being made, you can best believe that there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed because the opportunity to make money is there, right? So scams, fraud, methods. What's the way? What's going on? See, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are so. First of all, a lot of people out there only know what they know, and a lot of times the information that they know is the incorrect information. It's a lot of people out there that's fed the wrong information. It's a lot of people that's led down the wrong lane to doing a lot of the wrong things. There's a lot of people that just want to know what's going on. Now you got your real time fraud methods and you got your technical fraud methods. Now, real time fraud methods, and like I said, most people only know about the most common methods or fraud tactics that go on here: check fraud or credit card fraud or CPNs, quote unquote. Now, this is a whole different ball games with CPNs because people have the wrong information when it comes to CPNs. A lot of people hear the word CPN, and you have people out there that think that CPNs are somebody stolen a dead person's identity, somebody stolen identity. No. CPNs are basically numbers that have not been issued to anybody, and somebody finds that number and they create a profile surrounding that number. So that person's name is John. Everything will be the same except for that number and that address. Everything else will be the same as that person's profile. So name, birth date, everything will be the same, but that number and that address on that profile. Pre-built CPNs are stolen identities. There's no way for you to create a credit profile and already have a credit score on there without anybody's information. So when people say CPNs, they just mean stolen identities because most people don't take the time or have the patience to create an actual CPN. So they say, you know what? Bump that. Let's just find these stolen identities or buy this information off the dark web, create fake identity IDs to match these identities and just go on like that. That's what pre-built CPNs are and CPNs. So a lot of people don't know the difference because they're fed the wrong information. So CPNs are numbers that have not been issued to anybody. People find them and they basically use their information to connect to that new number and then use a different address. Pre-built CPNs are stolen identities, what people use to get apartments, cars, loans, credit cards, lines of credit, et cetera, et cetera. fraudulent activities. Then you got social media where all day, every day, you see people scrolling up and down different platforms, flashing money like this, showing stuff like this, and it has people intrigued, it has people interested. So a lot of people say, okay, how can I get like this? How can I figure out how to get the bag? How can I figure out how to stop working this 9 to 5 job and just start making thousands and thousands of dollars? Because there are a lot of people out there that scroll up and down social media on a daily basis that see people like this, and they work 9 to 5 jobs and they're struggling living check to check, and they're tired of it. So first of all, people got to understand that the world of fraud, the world of the dark world in general, people have to understand that everything is not created for everybody to do. There are people who do certain things and different things that can't do what the next person do. For instance, tech fraud and real-time fraud is two different things. People have to understand the world works off technology. First and foremost, the world works off technology from our cell phones, being able to FaceTime, being able to text, being able to get on the internet, being able to do all these things, being able to watch YouTube on our phones, being able to watch my videos, being able to do all these different technical things. People have to understand phones. Okay, let me break it down to you guys. So all of our phones have maps on it, right? And in order for when we look on that map, that it shows us directly where we are. That's a tracking device. Our phones are tracking devices. So if our phone knows exactly where we are, then anybody can know exactly where we are because of the information that's connected to our phones and the servers, the databases, and the hardware that's programmed in these phones that's allowing these signals to track our information or location is what is all based off technology. See, people don't understand. When we go to the bank and deposit money into our bank accounts, it's now a digital number. That money that we just put in there is now being used by the banks to get to somebody else. Point blank period. There is no box that says John Smith, and then every dollar that you ever deposit is going into that account. No, that money is now a digital number, which means that number is now in the matrix. That means that number is now ran by a database. It is recorded that you have this amount in this account, and it's now a digital number. Now, people don't understand, don't really think about it. Bank accounts, security databases are all ran by encrypted information, so it might be username and passwords, right? You need a username, you need a password to be able to access accounts, and then now they got two-way factoring where they just might send you a one-time password. So almost everything has a login from everything. Everything has a login nowadays, from username and password to get into these accounts, right? And people are starting to understand that, and these websites were coded. And people don't understand what coding is. You see, it all trickles down to like the main source, and this is what people don't understand. Every website, every application that we use was coded, which means these apps and these websites were created and commanded to do the things that it's doing. So when Cash App was created, it was coded to command it to be able to send and receive and link bank accounts and send money, receive money, hold money on this account. It was coded to do that. Games coded to do whatever it does. Streaming platforms coded to do whatever that it does. So when these bank mobile apps are coded and created, and these is coded to say, okay, in order to get into blah blah blah, it has to have blah 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 blah. This username, blah blah blah. It has to match the credentials of this system. See, people don't understand. People who are in the tech world understands that There's things called brute forces. There's things called phishing, smishing. Smishing is when people utilize text messages to steal people's login credentials. Phishing is where they use the phone, call people and get. And there's so many new techniques out here that's going on for people to utilize and steal people's banking credentials. And now, like I said, on the dark world, there, due to it being the evolution of the world and applications, there is going to be an evolution of fraud applications, fraud chat, GPT sites that will, you can literally command it to do anything that you want it to do. Now, there is a site on the dark web called Shadow Reaper. And like I told you guys before, dark web sites are not www dot blah 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 dot com. No, dark web sites are, the addresses are encrypted web, like long Bitcoin addresses with .onion at the end. They make it as encrypted and as hidden as they can on the dark web in these websites, because one, people gotta understand, and we're gonna get back to Shadow Reaper and what they all offer on there and what it is. But people gotta understand, when it comes to the dark web and dark web websites, people understand that there are dark web police. So if you understand that, you got to think that, why would they leave these websites open publicly for anybody to come buy this illegal thing? So that's one way for you to spot a fake website on the dark web. And the dark web is not a place or illegal place for you to go on, but when you start trying to buy illegal things or try to do illegal things, that's when it becomes a problem. And when you enter the dark web, a lot of people don't know about VPNs and socks and proxies and hiding their location and different things like that, because like I said, you're entering the tech world where system databases, servers, IP addresses, socks and proxies, VPNs, HTTPs, DNS, all these things exist. And by you not understanding that, you're vulnerable because you're not hiding that information, which makes it easier or easy for a hacker or a compromiser to be able to see this information, compromise it, and get into your computer system. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people save their passwords, save their wallets on their computers, and now that your computer is now compromised with all different type of malware and malbites and all these different type of things, it's you're making it easier for your information to be compromised by a scammer. And that's what people don't understand. And I know a lot of people didn't went on the dark web before, and then after they didn't went on it, their computer or their phone got to like acting weird and acting janky, because by you entering this world, this matrix, and you not being aware of what's going on, and you being vulnerable and clicking on different sites and different things, you're putting different viruses and malwares on your computer, on your phone, which now is making it do different weird things and glitch and malfunction and mess up. And that's what happens. So people gotta understand, like, hey, clicking any random links can mess up your phone, can be malware, could be smishing, phishing, can be fraudulent sites that's trying to steal the information off of your phone. And that's what people don't understand. So Shadow Reaper is a place on the dark web that, once again, is not just open to the public. You have to have a login and credentials and have to know where to find the actual site, but that's the name of it. Like I said, it's not gonna be www.shadowreaper. No, it's a long encrypted site, like a long Bitcoin address with that lane at the end. So Shadow Reaper basically is a place where you can get different credentials, log by different login credentials, or you can use its portal to create different malwares, different programs, different softwares to penetrate different applications, to be able to create brute forces and different hacks to be able to get login credentials, if you understand what I'm saying. So the Shadow Reaper is a site on the dark web where a group of kids, a group of people, I wouldn't say kids, but a group of people basically See, it starts from right here. So people get these spoof webs, these spoof apps, and then they start calling people, and they basically trick the people into believing that they're the bank's fraud department. They send out the text message with the spoof. People respond back, no, I didn't try to make this purchase. No, I'm not trying to wire transfer this money. They act like the fraud department. They trick or social engineer that person into giving them their bank credentials. Now they get those credentials and they try to get the money, and they also sell those banking credentials on the dark web. And then a lot of people compromise different banks databases and get different login credentials. It's all about just listen. I'm trying to get people to understand that if you can create it, you can compromise it. If this system or this application was created, people can compromise it because it's all coded. It's all like commands, and we're gonna be learning more about coding and commands on this site, on this channel, because a lot of people need to understand how important, how serious, and how dangerous technology is, how we need it and how dangerous it is. Because without technology, there will be no lights, there will be no energy. Like the evolution of technology is going up and up and up. From us needing keys to start our cars and put into the ignition, so now we can press a button and it'll start our car. How does that happen? Signals and waves. This key fob is sending a signal to that car to start the car. Signals. You can code signals to do certain things. Like this tech world is very, very informative and very intriguing and very polarizing to me, because how interesting is it for you to be able to use a key fob to open a door, use a key fob to start a car, use a key fob to do whatever that you want to do? That's what the flipper zeros are now doing. That's what the code dots are now doing, mimicking, cloning signals and ways to unlock doors, garages, start cars, sending signals to be able to scan CVVs and encrypted information from people's cars. Like, y'all gotta start understanding and how important technology is. Like I've been telling y'all before since the beginning of time, I'm not a scammer. I am not a fraudster. I am in the technical world. I am an ethical hacker. Ethical hackers are good with system, databases, servers, networks, getting into things and getting information. I've been telling you all this from day one. And this information that is out there, people need to start really like paying attention to, because it can be very beneficial. It can have a lot of, it can save a lot of people's lives. It can have a lot of people being more aware and more cautious, and can potentially see scams before they happen and can save their own life. So, like I said, there are so many different sites on the dark web that are popping up and generating different things because of technology. Shadow Reaper, bank logs from different sources, different places, different businesses, different databases. And it's also a fraud GPT server where you can create different programs, different servers, different signals and waves for modules that will allow a scammer, fraudster, or somebody to be able to complete these different tasks. So, like I said, the dark world, the tech fraud world, is way more sophisticated when it comes to this real time fraud. Because one, people in the tech fraud world don't have to be on camera. They're the ones compromising and getting into the cameras to see everything. People in the real time fraud world are always going into stores and at ATMs and banks and always on camera. But people in the tech fraud world are doing so much behind the scenes that it's even, they're more powerful, because they're the ones that can look into all the cameras in Walmart and on the streets. They're the ones that can mimic and find locations with IMEIs and information from them. They're the people that get the information that can lead to different things. Like, we're gonna be talking about a lot more on this channel about technical fraud, technology, because without it, the world will be lost. And with it, it's making the world a very dangerous place. And at the end of the tunnel, there's always a victim. It might be you, it might be a bank, it might be both, it might be us. So, like I said, make sure you guys are getting your Northern Life Locked to monitor all your social media, financial, and personal accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. Enter your mind to the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So make sure you get your Northern Life Lock. Make sure you guys are freezing all through your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience. So nobody can get anything in your name, no loans, credit cards, lines of credit, no apartments, no cars. And make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit cards every so often. I say every quarter, but hey, whatever you feel more comfortable with, do that. It's 4 quarters in a year. So every time you get new information, new card, new number, that old information no longer valid. It's always a compromise, leak, or hack that's happening. We use our cards every day, all day. We tap, insert, swipe, order online, you name it. And every time we do, that information is going in the database. So make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on out here in this real crazy world, because technology is the most powerful thing out here that we have. And with technology, it's turning people into millionaires with different things. I told y'all about the glitches that's going on due to technology. We got the sites that's creating different malwares and modules, and it's technology. Stay more safe, stay more cautious, and be more aware of what's going on out there in this real crazy world that we all living in, all right? Because at the end of the tunnel, there's always a victim, and nobody wants to be a victim. So, shout out to all my Real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going, y'all motivate me keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So, shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing it for 600. Yes, 600 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is in Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 250. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the crypto tour and personal limited gyms, 3,500. Make sure y'all book your seat on the month-long mentorship, 750, and it comes with a free 1K load worth 25, 30K. Don't miss out on that. Make sure y'all checking out the vendor platforms on Telegram, the Potato app, and Discord. Millionaire Networking World. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the YouTube channels, my Twitches, my IGs, TikTok, Snapchats, Discord, and Kick. Got a new IG. I will be updating this information real soon. King Hustle X1, 2Gs, X1M, King Hustle 4L, my new YouTube channels, IGs. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world, because it's changing people's lives, and make sure y'all getting in where y'all fit in with these lows. All right, 125 and up, cash at Bitcoin payment. Send me them screenshots when you're ready, and we're gonna go from there. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Nobody down any videos. I will see you at the next video live.